Well, the women are already lined up for the sound running women's 5,000 meters, and there is the American record holder, Alicia MONSON, next to Karissa SCHWEIZER. And so great to see her back on the track as she gingerly gets underway and will take a position kind of in the back of the pack here to start, though all the women ahead of those pace lights, which are set for 13 minutes, and really the time here for 14:50 in the women's 5,000, which would pace to that world championship standard. But Tom, the focus here really is on 15:05, which is the A standard for the U.S. trials.
Well, and I think this is the most intriguing and best race of the night. There are a ton of storylines, chief of which is Alicia MONSON and her return after 16 months of being out. And Paul, having just had meniscus surgery myself in the middle of March, that comeback is not an easy one, and it is filled with many potholes. And so, understandably, she took the conservative route back because you don't want to rush a return from meniscus surgery. And especially when you're a runner, because the pounding of running deeply affects that meniscus. So she's back, and it's great to see her on the track. Also, Karissa SCHWEIZER, who is a regular mainstay on USA national teams. But again, she's got a little something to prove as well. 9th in the Olympic Games in the 10,000, 10th in the 5,000. I'm sure that she wants to take that next step and get to a podium. And then somebody that a lot of people may not know, Taylor Rowe. She broke the American 10-mile record by 2 minutes in April, won the USATF Road Half Marathon, rode 4 miles, and rode 10 miles this past spring. A great runner at Oklahoma State. She's working with that research triangle team put together by one of the great coaches and human beings out there, Alistair Cragg and his wife, Amy. And congratulations to Amy, who is expecting her second child here this year, around November, December.
And you can see Taylor Rowe up near the leaders, kind of popping out to the outside just a little bit back there, and let's call it 6th or 7th position right now as they get through the 800-meter mark, and we'll come down to the line for the first kilometer of the race. Laura Galvan also among the leaders, the national record holder of Mexico, Schweitzer. Lauren
and Paul,
Ryan.
fine collegian in Grace Hartman of NC State. She was 2nd in the NC2A 10K, 5th in the 5K, and has run 14:58.11. One thing I wanted to point out, Paul, maybe the most shocking result I saw from last year was Karissa SCHWEIZER winning the Fifth Avenue Mile. You don't expect, she still has wheels, and she ran a course record 4:14.8 and taking a field down of great milers and great 1,500-meter runners. And, you know, just when you think, maybe Karissa SCHWEIZER has hit her plateau, she throws out a race like that to remind everyone, I'm not going anywhere.
2:58.63 for the first kilometer, 71.5 seconds on that last full lap to the finish line as they remain right on those lights at 14:50 pace.
Yeah, they're about 14:54 right now, so if they can keep hoofing it like this, and what I like is it's single file, and there are a lot of people that are up there near the front, so we could have ourselves not only a very fast race, but similar to what we've seen a couple of other times tonight, a very good race. Another person that doesn't get a lot of recognition is Allie BUCHALSKI from Furman, Brooks Beast. She has a best of 14:57.54. She has a season's best of 15:12 on this track back in May, but Allie was 6th at the U.S. Olympic Trials 6th at USATF 5K and 5th at the Olympic Trials in 2021, so she's a seasoned veteran. Paul, she's won 13 Southern Conference titles when she was at Furman, 13, and was 2nd in the NCAAs in 2018, but an underrated runner indeed.
Still Lexy HALLADAY and Courtney WAYMENT, two talented elite runners in their own right, but doing a little bit of pacing tonight for these women at 5,000 meters. GALVÁN and SCHWEIZER there. Alicia MONSON back in about 15th position, but still plenty of time to make up that gap. And again, just trying to focus on time here in her return to the track, trying to get under that 15:05 A standard for the U.S. Championships. Coming down the main straightaway now.
And let's not forget, Paul, that Courtney FRERICHS, the American record holder in the steeple, is in this event. 8:57.77. 32 years old now. An incredible big meet competitor. Silver medal, 21 Olympics. Silver medal, 17 World Championships. Second at the USA DNF meet in 18, 17, and 19 in the steeple. Just a great, great competitor. Also making her way on the comeback trail. So many compelling stories in just this one race.
Yeah, Monson one spot ahead of Frerichs now as they move down the back stretch.
And Lexy Halladaay, who's the Lexy Halladaay, who's the pace setter now, Paul, has an excellent chance to make the U.S. World Championship team in the steeplechase. She is right in the mix there with, Gabby Jennings and Val Constantine and the rest of them. She is a terrific competitor.
Taylor Rowe making another move here. She moves up now and challenging GALVÁN for 4th overall, as they'll see 7 laps on the counter. So they come through 2,000 meters in right around 6 minutes, and staying on those lights and that 14:50 pace. A little bit of separation now, top 8 in front. Monson back in 11th, but soon to be in 10th as she moves one spot ahead and maybe trying to stay within contact of those leaders as they work their way down the backstretch through 7 minutes elapsed on the clock.
Paul, Bailey Hertenstein currently in 3rd. Another great story. She ran 14:56.33 indoors this year. She was 2nd in the USA DNF 5K road champs to Josette Andrews, the former Colorado runner, Pac-12 cross-country 5 and 10K champion, 3rd at the NC2As in the 5,000 in 2024. The benefit of training at altitude. Bailey Hertenstein, again, one of those athletes that can get lost in the shuffle, but she is right in there in 3rd and looking very, very comfortable right ahead of Taylor Rowe. There she is, Hertenstein. Thank you, cameraman at thank you, our cameraman at Occidental College.
Well, they came through right at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, the halfway point, as they're on 15-minute pace. And the leaders still being led by the pacer Halladaay. As she looks around.
Grace Hartman is at the back of that pack, which also includes Kayley DeLay, coached by Marisa Powell out there in Bellevue, Seattle area. But Alicia Monson, I think, Paul, is fairly content to just kind of shake it out tonight, it looks like, and not really press it too hard, which kind of makes sense.
Keep an eye on the American record holder, Monson, who is leading that group of 4. Now just coming into the main straightaway, back there in 9th position. And Halladaay still pressing, as SCHWEIZER now in 2nd.
You kind of wonder, as good as Lexy Halladaay's looking, whether she's going to pull a Gary Martin and may decide to finish the race anyway. But yeah, this is an interesting race, kind of a little bit of a, kind of a changing of the guards, Paul. You have SCHWEIZER in 2nd, and she's surrounded by Hertenstein and Rowe, a couple of the real young up-and-comers, with Hartman not too far back. And these young kids are coming on. And it'll be interesting to see how they finish. And Kayley DeLay, by the way, hanging in there. A former great steepler at Yale. right in the mix, right there in 10th, 9:01 through 3,000.
Yeah, Halliday came through 3,000 meters in 8:55. The last lap to that 3 was 71:54. And now 72:72 on that last lap. Monson now getting ahead of GALVÁN and steadily moving up in the order here. But you can see the gap that has broken out. And the lights getting away from Halliday.
And she's looking back there, seeing where everybody is. You know, Taylor Rowe there in the purple looks really, really comfortable running on the outside there of that lane. She, Schweitzer, Hertenstein all look good. Somebody we haven't mentioned, Lauren Ryan, hanging in there as well. Buchalski, who we talked about earlier. Monson seems to be moving up a little bit, maybe getting a little bit more confidence in how she's feeling, Paul. But she's 6 seconds back. That's an awful lot to make up in less than 4 minutes. And there she is, right ahead of Grace Hartman, the runner-up at the NCAA Championships in the 10,000.
So you see Taylor Rowe is now moved up into second, making that transition off the roads and onto the track, trying to keep that momentum going from what has been a dominant series of performances on the USA running circuit.
The move to Raleigh has really done a number for her and Alex Mayer, another Oklahoma State guy who has been running brilliantly on the roads. And with that Team Crag, they have been just really, their careers have been really enhanced. Now Lauren Ryan taking it to the front here.
So a K to go for the leaders. You see Monson back in 6th, running all by herself, hoping somebody comes back to her so she has someone to target here in the latter stages of this race.
Yeah, that's the no man's land that you don't want to ever be in, is the no man's land, Paul, to your point. Somebody come up or come back, please, so I have some company.
And here is Rowe now with the lead. 72:58 on that last lap. Schweitzer, Hertenstein, Ryan, Buchalski, and Monson.
So Monson right now, Paul, about 5.5 seconds back. Taylor Rowe looks really full of run. Hertenstein also looking very, very comfortable. Schweitzer's about as consistent as anybody you'll ever get. You know what you get with Karissa Schweitzer. She's always going to be in the hunt. And if you can run a 4:14 mile, even if it's slightly downhill, you know that she's got the wheel. She's also a 2-minute 800-meter runner. If I'm Alicia Monson, I'm pretty encouraged by this run. The first race you've had in 16 months, and you're doing this well, I think that's really impressive. And as long as that knee feels good, which is the big, big thing, I know it myself, having just gone through my 5th knee operation and my 2nd on the meniscus. If that's feeling good, you'll be back.
So Rowe and Hertenstein on to the final lap here, as Schweitzer has lost traction with the leaders. And Rowe and Hertenstein's going to go to the outside and challenge Rowe on the back stretch. And gets slightly ahead and then moves back to the rail and has the lead now with a half lap to go and starting to break loose from Rowe just a little bit.
And making up time on those green pacing lights as well, Paul. Bailey Hertenstein, a lifetime best of 14:56. And if she can keep hoofing it like this, she has a chance to better that. But more importantly, she's going to beat one of the top fields you'll ever see in a U.S. 5,000 meter race.
Into the home stretch. Bailey Hertenstein is going to take down her previous best, 14:49, and now officially 14:48.91. And we'll await Monson coming across the line. She does look like she's going to get under that U.S. trials standard as she finishes in 15:01.63. But out there in front, 14:48.91, lifetime best for her. Rowe with a lifetime best. What a last kilometer in this women's 5,000 meters, Tom.
Yeah, Bailey Hertenstein is a runner that we have trained with Mark Wetmore at the University of Colorado and Heather Burrows. Always seemed like she had tremendous talent. She has speed, too. She was third in the Big Ten 1500 when she ran for Indiana. But this is a whole nother level, Paul. She has taken herself now to another level. She's taken herself to the point where she may break up that triumvirate of SCHWEIZER, Cranny, and Monson that has dominated the 5,000 and 10,000, and Kaladi, if you want to throw her into the mix as well. You're going to have to pay attention to Bailey Hertenstein now. You're going to have to pay attention to Taylor Rowe. These are two young, up-and-coming runners, and the veterans are going to have to look over their shoulder. Meanwhile, if I'm Alicia Monson, I'm pretty pleased with my first race back in 16 months to run 15:01.63, which seemed to me, Paul, to be a very, very controlled effort.
Yeah, she showed incredible patience, starting from well back of the field and then slowly and steadily moving up, and I think all